Is there anything good that he's done? I know you're not a big fan of him, but can you point to anything good?
If there's anything good, he's making it an easy target for himself. That's for sure.
Just in his second term as president, there's not one good thing you can point to.
Dude, it's just becoming Nazis again.
You think so? Who else? Really?
Yeah.
In what way?
Oh, here we go. Now I'm in it.
Yeah. Now we're
okay.
I assume that you're on the left. You believe in women's rights and stuff. Isn't that a good thing for women to have these people out of their spaces?
As a man, I do agree. It helps you guys with.
Great. There he goes. So he's doing something good.
You're not. I'm done.
What about you? What's your reaction to his first month?
I'm excuse my nervous. It's my first time doing that.
No, you're okay.
I don't like his policies more so than how he's acting.
Okay.
I've already seen most of the news regarding what he's been doing, like the different policies and different executive orders he's already signed. I don't like how he's cutting a lot of certain things from people.
Okay.
And the people he's doing it to don't know it.
Okay.
Or they just refuse to see it, and it hurts them in the long run.
Who are you talking about specifically?
Whoa. Sorry. Trump, right?
Yeah. Who's he hurting that might not be seeing it or acknowledging it?
The old people.
Okay.
A lot of the time. I'm 18, right? So I don't know if that constitutes.
No.
But my viewpoint. But from what I see, right, I just don't understand it, how they can see what they're doing, or they can't see what they're doing, right? And I'm like, you gotta look at what's happening, because it's hurting you.
What is happening that's hurting them?
Cutting the Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, the DEI stuff that he was doing also affects them, because of that. It might not help them also. Like, some old black people might not be able to have jobs because of the, supreme white people at the top of some corporations.
Supreme white people at the top of some corporations? I've never heard that before. So, is there any corporation that you can pinpoint that has a supreme white person at the top?
Most of them. I don't have them. I don't have them loaded, but there's a lot of them.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a little nervous, but I do have points.
Having fun.
I do have ideas of it.
Yeah.
But the problem that I just see is that they don't like looking at it, and when they do look at it, they just refuse to acknowledge it. It's like, that's my president, even though like felon 45, felon 47, and I'm like, come on, man, you don't want that. It's what I see.
So you're 18. These other people that you're talking about, probably in their 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Do you think they might have a little bit more experience and wisdom than you? To maybe there's reasons why they support Trump that maybe you're not understanding, because you. I mean, you have vastly different problems, right? And vastly different world experiences. So maybe there's something there that you might not know why they support Trump, and maybe they see these things happening and they're like, there's a lot of corruption in Medicaid, there's a lot of corruption in DEI, and there's a lot of corruption in the federal government. Maybe they've seen this and they're like, we need someone to get in there and get rid of it. Or are they just dumb?
Hang on. It's hard for me to think sometimes.
Oh, no, you're fine. If you're too overwhelmed, we definitely don't have to continue. You're fine.
In terms of the wisdom, right? A lot of the old people that I've seen, this goes for, like, an example that I've had is my stepdad, right? He, graduated, I think, college with a certificate in electrical engineering and stuff, but he's a conspiracy nut. And a lot of those conspiracies tie into what Trump's also believing.
Okay.
And as for, like, cutting Medicaid, Medicare, and DEI and Social Security, we need those things. I'm okay with them taking it on my taxes, because what Europe does, right? Germany and Switzerland and all that other places, right? They take stuff out of your taxes to pay for certain things. If we have, like, Obamacare, right? That was the closest thing that I've seen that was like a universal health care for the United States. It was the closest thing I've seen. Medicare and Medicaid help old people and young people, not go into straight up debt.
Right.
Because if I'm scared to get my teeth fixed, or I'm scared to get a broken bone, I work in the warehouse industry. So
Okay.
if I break something or I mess up one of my bones or my joints, I'm fucked. Sorry, I'm freaked out.
Okay, you're freaked out.
There, you got it. Clip out.
Perfect. All right. Well, is there anything good that he's done? I know you're not a big fan of him, but can you point to anything good?
If there's anything good, he's making it an easy target for himself. That's for sure.
In what way?
he's painting a very big target on himself.
Okay.
By acting this way, and it's not, and it helps people see who he really is sometimes. But if you want like a real answer as to what he's done that's good, I can't give you one, because as far as I know, he's corrupted many businesses he's had. He's corrupted.
Well, just in his second term as president, there's not one good thing you can point to.
Dude, it's just becoming Nazis again.
You think so? Who else? Really?
Yeah.
In what way?
Oh, here we go. Now I'm in it.
Yeah. Now we're
okay. So, the Nazis back in the day, they divided groups. They divided and conquered, as what Sun Tzu did in The Art of War, right? You divide and conquer. It makes it easier to take things from people. He did the patches for the Jews, and for the gays, he did a pink triangle, right? And that divided them. And if you wore that, you were automatically in that vicinity, right? My brain's too fast.
Take your time.
It makes it easier to hunt those people down and take them out, as with the Arabs and the Latinos and the Hispanics and.
Do you think Trump's doing that to them?
Yeah.
How is he taking out Latinos and Hispanics and Arabs?
It does that with the DEI programs. He cuts the DEI programs. Those programs help those people get into certain jobs that typically were just barred from them back in the day, right? Just straight up not allowed, right?
So he cut federal DEI programs, which were very, very costly. We've saved billions of dollars alone in just cutting these DEI initiatives and stop paying these employees to push what he would say is leftist propaganda into our federal government, which isn't needed. We don't need things about how to talk to black people if you're white and how to be an ally to your gay coworker. I think people are smart enough the way they don't need to know that. So cutting that's what he cut. And he cut that from federal employees. Now, private companies are choosing to get rid of that on their own. So I think, does he not have the right within the federal government to say this is wasteful spending? Our deficit, we have a crazy debt. Maybe we should cut down on these things that don't really matter in the workplace. And you think that makes him a Nazi?
Okay. I believe that the debt could be solved by just taxing the people that need to be taxed.
Like who?
Literally the billionaires that deserve to be taxed.
If we tax them at 100%,
not 100%.
but even if we did, it still would not cause even a fraction, a dent into our debt in this country. But Doge coming in and being an advisor to Trump and the other departments has saved us billions of dollars so far, especially in just the firing of unnecessary employees who aren't doing anything. That's a good thing, right? Instead of taxing people and stealing money from them, we're just going to get rid of people who shouldn't be paid because I'm paying them, you're paying them. That's not cool, right? But, to a point, I do have to point out, you said, the Nazis would label people and put them into groups. I see the left doing that, giving them pride flags, giving the Hispanics the special label of being, you're going to be deported, you're in this certain group. I think the left does a really good job of doing that. They even called Trump supporters the basket of deplorables. They call us racist, they call us Nazis. So I think the group that actually does a lot of the labeling might be the left. Coming up with these pride flags, putting out in front of their windows to let you know what group they're a part of, and if you're not part of it, they don't want you coming in. Trump supporters, we have that. They label us with a lot of terrible things, but I don't see Trump out there trying to give people images so we know how they identify and what part of group they're in and how they might think and stuff like that. He's just trying to better everybody as a whole. And I see a lot of I really just see a lot with the pride flags out here. That's what came to mind when you said that. Which I don't know. I don't think the left is a bunch of Nazis, but I see no evidence for Trump being a Nazi.
Okay. Is that my phone?
It might be. It's Trump calling to ask why you're calling him a Nazi.
I wouldn't pick up. But
anything else? We're gonna probably move on here soon. But yeah, anything else you want to add? Nothing good. He's deporting criminals and rapists. That's good, right? As a woman, I don't want to be in a country with illegal aliens who have been convicted of murder and rape. Is that good?
okay, listen. The deporting of people, you might say he's deporting criminals and stuff.
Right.
That's like a fraction of what he's deporting.
Okay.
It's mostly, Latinos who come here. Sometimes they don't know they're undocumented and just unknowingly get deported because I thought I was an American citizen when they came in illegally as a kid, when they were born somewhere else. But they were doing their jobs. They were taxpayers. They paid their taxes and they couldn't even get what they wanted. Because
You think the majority of people being deported are people with no criminal history?
Yes.
That's not true. No, that's not true. He is focusing first on criminals who, they broke the law coming into the country, but then they further broke the law by committing murder and rape, especially against women. Women have been very victimized by these illegal aliens. I don't know where you got that from, but he's focusing first on criminal aliens. Isn't that a good thing?
The majority of people that I can see, right, are people who just work. They're like us.
That's not true.
And the illegal criminals and stuff are part of that fraction. But the
They're majority of that.
is working class people.
No, they're not.
Because they pay into taxes, the IRS counts that because they get paid straight up, and the IRS
That's
counts
not
that.
true.
Then why is there a statistic for illegal people who get paid money and that goes into taxes like Social Security and Medicaid?
It's not true that that's who's being deported, though. Where did you hear that from?
I have sources to this.
Yeah, what sources are you saying that the majority of illegal immigrants being deported are non-criminals?
I've seen posts from people who are on the MAGA side, who have people who are undocumented and stuff like that.
Dude.
I can't give names.
Well, I won't pressure you anymore. I think you're getting overwhelmed. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I do want to let you know, criminals are being deported. Rapists, murderers, people who sexually assault children. These are the people who are being deported. And eventually, once they get out of the country, it is going to be, targeting people who came over illegally in general, which I also support. But that's who's being deported right now. And that is a good thing. And especially as a woman, I don't want people here in this country, even legal citizens here in this country, who rape and murder and target children and women. They should be out of our country. If they're not supposed to be here in general, why don't we just get rid of them? I assume that, you're on the left, you believe in women's rights and stuff. Isn't that a good thing for women to have these people out of their spaces?
My mom, right? She was a very educated woman. She was born deaf. That's a first.
Yeah.
But then became a speech professor,
Okay.
which is insane because typically, deaf people don't really go into places where audio is really necessary, right?
Sure, yeah.
Which is an insane accomplishment.
Yes.
She worked for 3 different colleges, one of them as a professor in speech. And I'm sure, full-heartedly, she would not like what Trump's doing.
I just asked you a yes or no question.
Really?
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to your mom. I'm sure she's a wonderful
relates to your
woman.
question.
But
As a woman, yes, I agree, right? I'm not a woman, but as a man, I do agree it helps you guys with
great, there he goes. So he's doing something good.
You're not. I'm done.
Okay, that's fine. What's wrong? What's not worth it? What's not worth it? I love your hair. That's beautiful. You're welcome. All right. Well, I think that I may have upset him a little bit, but I find it really offensive, and I'm going to be like a little feminist here right now. If you do not stand up for actual women in this country who are being victimized by people who are not supposed to be here, illegal aliens who are criminals, raping women and children. I do not want them in my country, and I think the people watching this would agree with that. And it's really frustrating when I talk to liberals, especially men, who refuse to just acknowledge that it's a good thing that women are safer in this country without those people here. It is not true that Trump is deporting just average, Juan coming over the border and trying to raise money and work and send it back to his family. That's not happening. Although Juan should not be here because he entered illegally and he is unvetted. I'm proud of the work Trump is doing, and as a woman, I fully support getting rid of people who would victimize me and rape me and murder me, because that's not a good time. Speaking of Juan, my beautiful bodyguard that you guys remember from previous videos, if you want to help support him being by my side like he was that day so beautifully there, you go to patreon.com/KAITLIN $5 a month will help support Juan being right by my side and everything I need him to do. He did a great job. Patreon.com/KAITLIN and you can also go to my private Facebook group if you donate, and we can chat one-on-one, and maybe I'll even introduce you to Juan there. See you there.